Okay, good evening, everyone. Tonight we are on our bi-weekly feature with Golos, the English edition. And, well, I suspect that we're going to talk about the upcoming... Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, we're going to talk about another upcoming hard fork. It was supposed to happen a week ago, and then maybe like a week and a half ago, but now it's on this week because we had some interesting things with VM launch. They were supposed to launch on 20th of February, but instead they tried to coincide their launch with the launch of their battle thing, and that was on the 1st of February, and things were a little weird. And as you probably know, Golos team, they helped with the launch. And also I have their post here, and probably we're going to talk about it a little bit. I probably need someone to screen share for me, because I still haven't fixed this issue with Hangouts. Could anyone please do this? Or not? Well, Sasha, maybe you could do this? Okay. Anyway, I'll ask in a moment. Hold on. Anyone? Dima, can you please screen share for me? There's a link in the chat. Can you open this? It's a green button on the left, top left. Or Sasha, anyone? Oh, well, let's just talk about it. I'll open it in my window here. So they are they're talking about BM, that BM launched their battle on their own platform because they were unable to, do the launch in time, and that is kind of, expected, because, for example, they needed to register some, I don't know, like 10,000 or like 50,000 people, and they only started power down like maybe 2 days before the launch, so things were a little bit, hectic for them. They kind of started looking into the, as far as I know, looking into the technical side of things, well, a little bit too late. And if you remember that there was a spike in the price somewhere around like 20, well, last days of January and first days of February, that was it. And hopefully they launch by 20th of February, but well, time that was supposed to go into getting the hard fork, well, it went there. And also one of Dima, Hipster, he announced a initiative for open source developers. So if you are developing libraries or tools or whatever for Golos, there's a bounty for releases. And one of the things that he is looking for is, well, for all of the like Python, Java, C, or whatever. But one of the things that kind of struck me like, oh wow, cool, is he's also really looking for people to do some libraries in R or Julia, and I'll find this post here, and I really hope that people. Okay, we have. Yeah, cool. I will do it like this. Yeah, present to everyone. So, okay. So, one of things that Golos team is working on is onboarding people and doing the marketing things to drive adoption, and one of the things that they describe here is just that. And also we were talking about hard fork, and from their weekly report, they're talking that as soon as we are able to adopt 16.1, it is possible to have a 16.2 and 16.3 in short succession. So this whole delay was we should switch, then test a little bit, and then if everything is okay, we can have several other hard forks. Anyway, then they did something on how they are going to approach with merging the web client things, and that's okay. Oops. Well, not screencasting anymore. Oh, we are. Okay, so we're talking about the web interface for Golos, and they decided to work on getting everything that Steemit's team added to Steemit, and so as soon as 16.1 hard fork is going to be adopted, we can expect to have all those cool things with interface. Okay, is anyone here? I know that Arkanj should join us shortly, but apparently he's still talking. No problem. I'll have to talk a little bit more. So they are looking for people to send them reports on incorrect localization but that's probably not something that is really relevant to our English-speaking viewers, and currently we have none, which is a little bit too bad, but usually the views are gathered over the week. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is going to be a little bit later, but his link, just have it maybe handy, please. Sasha, can you open another tab with this link in the chat? We'll have to switch to it later. Okay. Anyway, so we are going to have a hard fork, and a lot, as far as I know, if we take a look at the witness list for Golos, all the people who launched their node in last week or something like that. They are already running 16.1, and if we take a look at their stats, most of them are not in the top 19, and still most of them, they don't have much missed blocks, I think. So the topmost delegate witness to have 16.1 is Synergen, and that's another topic we would probably like to, we should talk about, because it is somewhat related to the recent drama. If you check the lists and see the vote count on Synergen, he has like 6,125 votes going for him, and highest, I think that the person with the most votes, number of votes, second place in this category would be Anatolia, and he only has like 229, and that's a little bit interesting. So if you remember, when we had ICO in the last day, Synergen came and he kind of almost single-handedly doubled the amount of money that were gathered in ICO, and the team, CyberFoнд team, they helped him to register about like 9,000 accounts. Most of them had like maybe 1,000 or I don't know, like 2,000 Golos power, something like that. And afterwards, so those accounts were registered for VM users, and afterwards, when people were talking about this, he said that he gave those keys away, but apparently, and people discovered it's like at the last days of January, BM currently holds keys to maybe like 60 accounts, and as far as people talked about with Roman Synergen, he said that he gave all the keys that were paid for, and other keys are going to be transferred as the payment comes, something like that. But in a really, really controversial and weird way, this all happened when he announced his desire to run for witness. He created a witness node, and then suddenly like 2,000 votes were cast for his node, and then like another 2,000, and so finally he is he briefly entered the top 19 witnesses, and well, it forced guys from CyberFound to use their account, and well, they voted for different people, and they said like, yes, we were thinking that we shouldn't do this, but this is clearly an abuse. And so to have some integrity, we're not voting for any people who are affiliated with CyberFund. But here's our decision on what we saw in the last months with witnesses, and so they cast like 15 votes or something like that, and it resulted in a little bit of a shuffle in the top 19, with several members of CyberFund moving out of top 19. But they also moved Synergen out of top 19. Anyway, I hear that we have some people here. Arkanj is with us, and we have a viewer. Wow, cool. Hello.
Hello.
Did you follow any of those cool events that transpired in the last week?
What happened with BM?
Yeah, with BM,
Yes,
with
yes.
Synergen,
Yes,
everything.
of course. I followed. I made some posts to inform people when some bot were starting to vote for his witness, because I was a bit scared of what's happening. And as you said, it's kind of abuse, because all other delegates are voted by members of the community, active people, and he was abusing his power. I also followed the story about him selling or not selling accounts to BM. So I think CyberFund did a good thing, because it's not the way he should behave. He later in a post said, "Oh, I was trying to see how the platform will react. I was pushing things to limits to see how it happens, but I don't think it's a way to do."
Well, actually, it is a something like a live fire exercise when the distributed proof of stake system was tested by a party that I think currently Synergen controls, like, I don't know, 12%, 20%. Well, something like that of the total network stake. We should well, I suspect that for some reason he could probably cast another maybe 1,000 or 2,000 words for himself, and he possibly could have entered top 19, but well, he didn't. So maybe it is a sort of a shaking up things and testing, but it's a little bit hostile as far as I'm concerned.
It's not testing, because if it was a test, okay, let's say it's a test, and maybe he didn't want to inform people before doing his test to be in real condition. Okay, so he made his test. He had 6,000 accounts voting for him. Okay, the test is over. Then I think he had to remove these votes.
Yeah, and this is not just, just so people understand. This is not just like 6,000 votes from accounts that have like maybe 5 Golos power or like 100 Golos power. It's 6,000 votes from accounts that hold a significant amount of Golos power total, and the voting for witnesses, for delegates, it doesn't account. Well, when you vote for a, well, I know that most our watchers probably know this, but when you vote for a post, there is a quadratic function, and so accounts with more Golos power weight more, but when we are talking about witness votes, delegate votes, the Golos power is counted as is. So like
yes, it's a sum of the
yeah,
the guests. It's a sum
of
of all
guests.
the accounts. Yes. Yeah. So but why keep those votes? If you want, Ether removes the power the guest from this account to his own account, and he show how powerful he is, because each witness can vote for himself.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ether is say, okay, I'm powerful, I have a lot of guests, and I vote for me, and then I'm there. But it's not clear. That's my concern. That's what he is doing is not really clear, and in these conditions, it's very hard for me to give my trust to someone who behave like this. I have nothing against Sinergen, but it's hard to trust him on given the way he behaves.
That's true. And that's actually one of the reasons why I would like to say I know that witnesses in Golos, they decided against including this whole thing with votes resetting every 3 months. I think that in Steam they also voted against this. I'm not sure. Can you do you know?
To do what?
So in one of the latest releases, Dan proposed that votes for witnesses would be reset after 3 months to kind of stimulate activity and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that's made it into or if witnesses voted against it.
I don't think
know?
they made it. No. And it's balance, because it's a good idea, but it's also something bad, because we will see delegates starting to make permanent campaign to keep their votes rather than working.
I actually think that they do that from time to time, and actually one of the best ways to campaign is to work. It's just like, so for example, you or Xstar or I don't know, Primus. A lot of things that you do are like cool tools and useful features and stuff like that, but it is also a part of campaigning, and the way that CyberFund chose people to vote for are partially based on that sort of campaigning. They said like, yeah, we monitor things and we feel that those people that received their vote did well, kind of more than other witnesses, so they have our vote like this.
Yeah, we publish reports. I don't think people like Xstar or me are doing things to make campaign. We are doing things because we like to do it, because we have the skill to do it.
No. Okay. What I'm saying that the most effective way to run a witness campaign is by doing cool things.
Yeah, I fully agree.
And so people see like this scoreboard thing that you did, or Xstar, he adds those little nifty features to his Steam website, and then Primus, he runs the market making thing for gold, Golos-backed gold, and that's actually one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and that's kind of when I was looking at the price feed code, I noticed one thing, and I know that some people use, there are like maybe 2 or 3 different scripts to update the price feeds. So, and a lot of people are also feel that what the delegates are reporting on Golos Gold is a little bit not what the market is reflecting, and that GBGs are suffering the same thing that happened to Steam Dollar back when back, I don't know, in August. I saw that that usually you could sell your Steam Dollar for like 80, 85, maybe 90 cents, 93 if you're lucky, something like that. And Steemit, they implemented a lot of different ways to encourage people, to encourage the market participants to value the Steam-backed dollar more. There were some things with buying and selling. Then there were more incentives like working with the APR on Steam, like on Steam dollars. So when you hold Steam dollars, you receive monthly interest, and that interest rate is calculated by adding up and then dividing what the, so it is set by the witnesses, by the delegates. So the problem with GBGs is that the market is expecting the Golos token to keep rising, and that means that, for example, let's see how much it costs today. So, okay. So most people are reporting like maybe, so GBG is about like half, so you get 2 GBGs for 1 Golos, more or less. Well, there are some values that are higher or lower, but that's kind of give or take. But in a week, it's probably or if we look at the market, then we'll see that that the market, okay, the internal market. So people are selling. Okay, they want to buy Golos for 2 and 2.2 or a little bit more GBGs, and people are willing to sell for 2.7. So there's a huge gap between them, and that's kind of the picture that I remember seeing on Steemit. And one of the ways that that were used to solve this problem were those adjustments that every witness, every delegate can do, and those have to do with this, well, quote, base and quote field. So it's a little bit more complicated with Golos, because if we're talking about Steemit, the base price is always 1, because they are talking about Steam Dollar, which is equal to $1. And in case of Golos, it's, well, it probably shouldn't be 1. But one of the ways that the feeds are calculated is they don't touch this one, and they use the quote to get the correct price. But if we look at what Dan wrote about the economy behind Steam Dollar and, well, by the extension behind the Golos, Golos-backed gold, it's that with the 7-day conversion, witnesses, if they see that people are more, well, trying to sell more than people are willing to buy because they expect the price to rise, should alter their feeds like by maybe 10% up to maybe 30% in favor of so they give a little bonus to those who would like to trust the system to convert the Golos-backed gold into Golos by doing it via the system, and it would maybe without other things to help this along, it wouldn't make a huge difference, but I think that it might do a bit of a difference. And if the delegates aren't doing this, they are not actually doing kind of, you know, their work. And I remember that, well, in January, in December, a lot of people from Steemit, when the Golos was launching, they were saying like, this is something that people should look into. This is something that is definitely going to be a problem because that's what we know from Steemit. So it is probably a good idea for delegates to do some calculations and to maybe fiddle with APR, maybe fiddle with this bias, well, quotes thing, and when what the market is showing and what the internal market is showing, if they are not in alignment by a huge margin, then they probably should give a small bonus to their feed. And I actually thinking about writing a post about this, but it is a little hard thing for me to write because I don't, you know, I'm not really good at my economics, and I kind of want to have those calculations done, and so my post has substance. I'm not just pointing a thing out, I'm giving a way to, you know, to correct it. But this is something that I'm probably a little bit underqualified to do correctly, so I'm kind of trying to give this ball to someone else. And this is something I think is a little bit important to the system. Of course, for the best results, it might be a good idea to maybe like take I don't know, 5% of the money from ICO and do this while buying the Steam Gold, then well, I remember seeing those interesting things about how they would balance the economy in Steemit by buying Steam dollars for Bitcoin, then selling Steam for Bitcoin, and well, kind of closing the loop that way. I'm not 100% sure if that's what happens, but it probably worked something like that. And with the Golos Fund having some money in their coffers, they could try to have a cycle like this. And if they do it correctly, it's not going to cost a huge amount. I don't think so. Anyway, that's what I want to talk.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are missing the economic master. Anix wanted to join, but he's not able to join on Wednesday.
Oh, and that's what that's what I want to talk closer to the end of our hangouts, because I know that we were thinking about having another evening with Golos to include Anix on Saturday or Sunday. And I think the best day for that would be like on this weekend, because unfortunately I wasn't able to do this on those days, like 4th or 5th. And I'd like to, well, announce that on this weekend we'll probably have another hangout, maybe a little bit short one, and we'll talk economics with Anix. But we'll announce it as soon as we schedule it. Oh well. So, what else could we talk about? One of the interesting things that happened is we have okay. Sasha, could you please open this link with the Cyberfront initiative? It's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So Cyberfund are pledged to support developers who, well, to incentivize the developers of the libraries, tools, and everything that works with the Golos blockchain if they release the code into the open source. So if you are already offering some tools that work with the Golos blockchain, and you are also have an open source, well, they are licensed with the, I don't know, which license does he prefer, like BSD license or GPL? Could you scroll a little bit? Yeah, Richard Stallman, blah blah. Open source for Golos. Yeah. So the Cyberfund owns 10% of the platform, and theoretically it would allow to manipulate to send like 10% of the reward pool. Anyway, they are, if you have a code on GitHub and the license, could you scroll a little bit more? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so there's a huge list of things that Cyberfund is incentivizing, and they, among them, they. Okay, so this is incorrect. Hold on a second. It's it's a little bit hard to read from there. I'll open it here and okay. Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, they're mostly aiming to bring Russian-speaking developers in working with the platform, but I think it still applies to all other people. So they want language libraries for Golos.D, and so they want to. First of all, they want JavaScript, Go, and Python, then Java and C Sharp, Rust and Elixir, R and Julia. Yeah, so those are the top prioritized languages, and then they want streamers for databases and cloud services like with Rethink, Arango, Elasticsearch, and also MySQL Postgres. Well, you should actually check out his post. It's in Russian, but, well, Google Translate works wonders. Explores analytical tools, bots, content import tools. Those are more aimed at Russian audience, but LiveJournal, Geek Times, and Hubble, Clay Tools. Okay. So they want something that is licensed, not well, MIT license, so BSD license with good README, or with turned on issues, with good documentation, Git workflow. Well, that's kind of it. Yeah. So he's talking about Richard Stallman, and then he says like probably not GPL. Okay. I can understand why that's the case. Anyway, so this is probably a for your information thing, and if you have some friendly Russian developers, tell them. I understand that most Russian developers that could probably see this are most likely already know about this initiative.
It's not always easy to open source its developments, because let's say, for example, for me, a hipster made a comment saying, or you should look at it and think to it. And that's something I'm thinking too, because it would be interesting. But for my own example, for example, I use third-party libraries that sometimes I cannot open source. So I cannot put my whole projects open source because I'm not allowed to do it. I will try to move away from those third-party, because it's locking me to this kind of initiative, locking me out. But it's a very interesting one, yes, indeed.
Well, I know that there are procedures about open sourcing the code that uses libraries that don't allow open sourcing, and it kind of, you can release the code and say like those libraries are required, but they are not eligible for. Well, you can't use this if you don't have them. You know.
For example, I already open sourced some libraries. I wrote Golos.net. So libraries, if you are a Windows developers using Visual Studio, you can use those libraries to create applications, and talk with the blockchain. For example, Golos SQL is using those libraries. Golos board is using those libraries, and they are open source.
You can. It means that you can go and talk to him and claim some of these bounties.
I should.
Yeah, you definitely should. So this, at least something useful out of our hangouts. And I mean, if you did this already, some other people aren't. They don't have to, reinvent the bicycle. Although as far as I know, my programmers, that's one of the highest, priority things that they like doing. Like, okay, I see this implementation, but I can do it better. Stuff like that.
Yeah. That's because that was my one of my first posts, long time ago, three months ago. So I forgot about it.
And you should probably update it and say,
make a small refresh.
I did this, and show it to Hipster. And
I think I spoke about it in my last witness report because I corrected some minor bugs. Anyway.
Cool. Okay, I'm not sure what else could we talk about. We talked about BM. We talked about this open source initiative. We talked about goals.
We talked about art fork. It has been postponed.
Well, with the Swirl team working with the VBM launch and stuff like that, the hard fork has been rescheduled once again.
Yes, I was surprised to see some witnesses running their nodes with the 16.1 version.
That's because
this version has not been officially released.
Well, actually, it's on the GitHub, and if you try to create a delegate node or seed node right now, and you do like git clone blah blah blah, you'll get the code that would launch a 16.1 node. That's because it's been merged and it's currently in master branch. So I downloaded the 16.1, and unfortunately I only have one server right now. I probably should kind of clone it and try on the second server. But anyway.
But then there is a problem of communication because it has not been officially released. And people wanting to build a node just go to the master and get it from the master and get this, let's say, non-official released version of the code.
Anyway,
it's a problem of managing a version.
It's probably more a problem of I don't know, communication.
Yeah. As a problem of communication or a problem of managing the release.
Yeah, and that's probably something that they should work on. Yeah, master branch, and yeah, it was they merged branch Golos 16.1 39 minutes ago. Hard fork release time moved to Friday, January 27th. Okay, so it's a little bit obsolete, this information here. Yeah, it's something that's, well, anyway, Valera between he said that if you have time and stuff like that, run a 16.1 nodes, see if it syncs with blockchain, stuff like that, and well, be ready for the hard fork. And well, as far as I know, it's kind of officially released, but it's not yet in the forking mode, and it has been postponed like thrice. I remember we should have switched like in January, and then it's probably that's the thing with, you know, with delays. A lot of people are like, we should probably change to that hard fork like in mid-February, and yeah, they got what they wanted with all these things.
Yeah, but communication should be more accurate on what's going on.
That's true. That's true. It's something that I'll talk about with Serежа. I think that's kind of his responsibility. So, and he should be doing it a little bit more. I remember several people said like that he's a little bit not doing a good job enough, but this is kind of a hectic time and stuff like that. So we probably should give him more, you know, time to adjust and stuff like this. But this is something that we should point out. That witnesses, the delegates, would like to have more and clearer communications.
Yeah, but it's not only witnesses, it's for everybody.
Yeah, I know, but
and we as witnesses are, of course, are responsible to make this happen. Because the communication is clear for everybody, for all people from the community.
I think we could bring this up in the Golos chat and in Telegram chat and stuff like that. We have channels there. Okay. What should we talk about next? I don't think we have anything left to talk. Maybe we have Chris here. I'm not sure who's that. Would you say something, please?
I don't think I have anything to say.
Okay. Anyway, well, then I suppose we probably should wrap this up. And I plan to have another hangout, most likely on Sunday. I'm not sure if it's okay for Anix, but hopefully it is. And as soon as we schedule it, we'll announce it. And we'll then talk economics and have someone who knows who's what he's talking about, because I don't. Well, I do, but I don't feel that I know enough to have this conversation, you know, really to be like really full informed and interesting and stuff like that. So, oh, before we go, let me see. We have a viewer. Is there any questions there? Probably not. No. Okay. Oh well. So this is Вечер with Golos. We talked with Arkanj and Alexander here. He assisted me with screencasting. My name's Peter. Well, we were mostly Golos witnesses here, so vote for us. And see you in 2 weeks. And on this weekend, hopefully. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Have a good evening.